Hello everyone, my name is Kathia and I'll be your reporter today on Radio 7. This morning we will dive into a cinematic discussion particularly about biopics. Biopics are dramatized movies based off the story of a real individual, and it's always interesting to study their accuracies by comparing them with real information. The Russian movie Going Vertical, also known as 3 Seconds, is a sports drama biopic about a basketball team directed in 2017. It's the story of the Soviet Union national basketball team in 1970 and their new head coach, Vladimir. In the very beginning, the coach states at a press conference that the Soviet Union was going to beat the US national basketball team during the Munich Summer Olympic Games. It's important to keep in mind that these two countries were in conflict in many domains throughout the Cold War. And so, the movie portrays the Soviet team progress and preparations for this game, accompanied by the players' friendship, disputes, and emotions. The head coach completely changed the position of the team and trained them with new techniques, new motivation, and inspirations in order to lead a committed team towards victory. As predicted, the US and the Soviet team played head-to-head and were tied by the end of the game. However, in a matter of 3 seconds, the Soviet Union team scored the final score of victory. This movie is based on true story with real events that occurred in the 1970s. So let's talk about the accuracy of this film. First of all, the basketball team was very well represented in the physical aspects, and so were their behavior. In fact, it regrouped players from all around the USSR. The film's title refers to the last 3 seconds of the famous game in Munich that was accorded to the Soviet team. They scored with a long shot across the court in a matter of seconds. This was perfectly reproduced and the scores were accurate. The head coach of the team predicted in real life the Soviets' victory, and in the movie during the press conference we hear him say, "The USA basketball team will be defeated by another team sooner or later. I hope it will be us." In fact, until that match, the USA was not beaten in basketball at the Olympics for 36 years. The US team's players did not accept their silver medals because they considered this defeat as a gold medal stolen from their team. Also, apart from basketball, we can see in the movie the Russian players smuggling items such as video cassettes and leather jackets when they return home to the Soviet Union. This was a harsh reality of life for many people in the USSR during the Cold War. The specific basketball game in reality was viewed politically more than for the sake of sports, and we can see the tensions between the two countries very well in the movie. However, according to some viewers, this movie was overly dramatized. Before passing to the critics of the movie, let us discover the differences. To begin with, the names in biopics are generally chosen as they are in real life. The Russian basketball team head coach was Vladimir Gerashkin, but he was called in the movie Vladimir Kondrashin, so the last names were modified. Furthermore, let's discuss the main basketball player of the team, Alexander Belov. He did not have a heart disease as it was represented in the movie during or any time around this game. In fact, before every training, the players were sent for medical examinations where doctors had to make sure they are well. In the film, not only did they recruit the sick man, but they also sent him off to the Olympic Games, something far off from reality. In addition, Alexander Belov was in the movie shown to be in a relationship. The basketball player's widow, Alexandra Ovchinnikova, announced in a preview that they haven't even met that year and that their first encounter was much later. In the movie, she was portrayed as a basketball player in the women's team, but in 1970, female basketball did not exist in the Olympics. She also had to change some details of the movie's draft that was given to her before its production. For example, Alexander Belov was supposed to start a game with Americans on the street the day before the competition. His widow went against this draft as Belov was a professional and he could never allow himself to do that the day before a game. Finally, even before the release of the film, Yevgenia Kondrashina and Alexandra Ovchinnikova, widows of Vladimir Kondrashin and Alexander Belov, they were the basketball players, they criticized the plot. In their opinion, the authors of the film dived into their private lives and included information about it in the script without their consent. I signed a document stating that I did not want our surname used in the film. I think my late husband would have done the same. Before he passed, he asked me, "Don't write any books about me and don't let them make any films," said Yevgenia. But let's finish this analyze on a good note. Many viewers loved the excitement of the film. It was produced in the memory of this basketball team, and thanks to the movie, we can relive the pride felt for this incredible victory. In my opinion, the movie was great and very well directed, but dramatizing it should be limited when it comes to offending families and friends of those presented.